What's going on, guys? It's Wayne here. Welcome to part 2 of our video series on pivot tables. So on the first video, what we've learned was how to set up our raw data in a proper table format and how to create a simple pivot table. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to learn how to navigate the pivot table and little tips and tricks that we can use to make the pivot table display what we want. So what we've created in the first pivot table, we can see here under columns the values, right? So these are the values of sum of the cost and the paid and how much each person paid. And under rows we see name and order. Notice how name is on top of order. So name actually is on the left hand side, and then once we expand the name, it drills down into the order for that particular person. This makes sense when collecting money, but what happens when we're trying to order the food? We actually need notes. What if someone customized their order? I can't just say, hey, I want a chicken parm. But what else might be useful? Oh, it's a chicken parm on a seeded roll. It's a chicken parm on a non-seeded roll. So what we can do here is, we know that name isn't very useful, so we can drag order to be first, and we can do that here by dragging order on top of name. And now we see that it's flipped. Order is now first. We can get rid of name, so we can remove field. Just click it, remove. Now we see the order. We also need to take a look at notes. So what we can do is drag notes under order. We can also do that by dragging notes on the right of order, so we can see that the green outline is actually to the right of order, and it's the same thing. Order, notes. This is a little messy, and we don't necessarily need the total amount for each order, so what we can do is click on this field, the total, right click, and then we see subtotal of order. We don't need this, so let's click it to disable it, and now it's a little cleaner. What if we also want to keep the name? Let's drag name under notes, or to the right of notes. Same thing as before, right click, subtotal notes. Now we see exactly what order, any customizations to the order, and who ordered, with the sum of cost and paid. Now this doesn't necessarily make sense, because if we go back to our data, let's take a look at number 11. We see $16 here for WC. WC actually ordered 2. So how can we show that WC actually ordered 2? So now let's clean this up first, and right click on the order, go down to expand collapse, go down to collapse entire field. What that'll do is collapse to where we're right clicked. So now this is a lot easier to visualize. So what we can do is, since we want to know cost, we don't necessarily need to know paid right now. So what we can do is click on sum of paid, value field settings, and now we see sum, count, average, max, min, product, count numbers. There's so many different options that we can summarize our value field by. What we want is count. So now let's click count and click OK. Now we see how many we've ordered. Now let's move count above sum, so now it's here to the left. And once we open number 11 salad, we can see that now there's 2. Again, we can right click, expand collapse, collapse entire field. Now we can see specifically down to notes how many we've ordered. So this would make sense when ordering, whereas before it would make sense when trying to collect money. So it looks like a grand total of 19 different things were ordered, including the pickle and the Coca-Cola, and a total cost of $145. Cool. Thanks, guys.